Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning into LL3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date is Sunday, January 26, 2020. There are days we may get antsy at a few things and something grasp that's more essential. We all have those moments, and it's okay. I admit it too. Then something worse happens. You think the other ordeal you got ticked off or annoyed with is petty. So today I'm going to be talking about a late person. A person that recently passed away Friday, found out yesterday when I did my last podcast. Sean Reinart from Cynic, Eon Spoke, and many other bands he performed with. First time I seen him perform was on April of 1988. Cynic started around that time, maybe late 87, early 88, at a warehouse party. Mortician was with them, and even what's his name, another passing member was with them as well, and a few other bands. That's how I met people like Sean Dolan, met Paul, met Jack Kelly, Mark Van Der, and I met even Cryptic Curse, Jeff Alberts, Ted Sledge, Wolfbang, Tom Wolfbang, his name is, yeah. Just to name you a few. And even band Paradox as well. You have to understand, people have to realize, even doesn't matter what genre, music scene, or community, doesn't matter what you do. If you all grew up together, it becomes a brotherhood, a sisterhood, loving one another. Even though we may have our disputes in the past, little battles and all that nitpick, but always appreciate each other. In due time. Some of them may not be in the music scene anymore. Others still in the business. And you're gonna hear the bridge in the background along the New River. But it's really very morose. Even though he wasn't with us in South Florida, went to Los Angeles. But the music, his contributions to the music as a whole, shall never be perished. It will be cherished instead. Made impact, influenced a lot of young musicians, even the older ones as well. I do recall one time George Koukouris won Best Drummer in the 1992 Slammy Awards. Some people were a little bit skeptic, but he went, hey, where's Sean Reinart? He deserved this more. I'm just paraphrasing. And George was a great drummer too. But that's how much respect we have for one another. And I'm proud of being in that music scene for all those years. And I still chat with a few people here and there. Still touch base and get a little get-togethers. Many I know are in tattoo shops. Many of them doing session work. And others just have families. And it's nice. We all drifted off, have different missions, journeys. I'm doing my thing, they're doing theirs. But I haven't forgotten. I still chat with a bunch of them on Facebook as well. And I love them dearly. Yes, I do. Every single one of you out there, I love you. Even Morbid Mario and all those guys. You know who you are. So Faciana and Jason Blackowitz. I remember Mark Simpson. I haven't talked to him in years, but I hope and pray he's doing great. And JP Soares. He's being raped pain guy. Now he has a blues band. Still doing music. And I love it. And I still chat with him once in a while. And we talk about the heydays, the memories, the history of our lives. Even when Brett Hoffman passed, JP and I said one of our brothers passed. I know. That's how we got to look at things, my friends. You know, love your neighbors, love yourself. I'm not trying to be biblically inclined, but it's a good message. So I'm going to be doing a couple of articles. I know one of them is not as accurate, but has a great message on here as well. I may do 2 or 3. I'll see what happens here. I'm just winging it as we speak. So, this came from sickdrummer.com, Sick Drummer Magazine. Came out yesterday. Legendary death cynic drummer and dear friend Sean Reinart passed away at only 48. It's with a very heavy heart we share the unfortunate news of the passing of Sean Landon Reinart. Born in May 27, 1971, died January 24, 2020. A true legend in the drumming world, an inspiration and a very good friend to all of us here at Sick Drummer Magazine, a brother. We will share more information as it becomes available, another one taken far too early. I grew up playing drums and listening to idolizing Sean's work on Death's Human and Cynic's Focus albums. Sean was one of the reasons Sick Drummer Magazine even exists. I first met Sean at a NAMM convention in 2007 and got to sit with him, Gus Rios, Scott Patrick, and have a nice lunch together with my wife and daughters when they were just 4 and 6 years old. Over the course of the next 13 years, we grew to be good friends. Sean wrote blogs, lessons for Sick Drummer Magazine, was one of the instructors at the Sick Drummer camp held in Northern California in 2011. We got to spend the entire week just hanging out, doing drum stuff, and sharing a house with other instructors. George Coleus, Derek Roddy, Gus Rios, Dirk Verbruen, Gene Hoagland, Tim Yang, and Danny Walker. Those are damn good drummers, that's all I gotta say, and I see them firsthand. I always cherish the times we had together, be at NAMM, at the concert, and camp, or just on the phone late night talking shit. Sean was a good friend and a true inspiration. Not only did he change the way I looked at drumming, but also changed the way an entire generation looked at drumming. Thank you for all the years of friendship and inspiration. The gifts you left us will stand the test of time. You are now gone from this place, but you'll never be forgotten. Love you, and rest easy, Ian. I couldn't say it any better. That was beautiful. And thank you, Ian, for paying homage to the late, great Sean Reinart. Sean Reinart played drums, percussion for bands like Death, Cynic, Agora, Gordian Knot, Eggshell Repair Kit, and Eon Spoke. Hailed for his musical virtuosity, drummer and Cynic co-founder Sean Reinart has recorded drums on more than 20 critically acclaimed albums. It has been profiled in all major drum magazines. Formerly trained in piano and educated at the University of Miami in composition, Sean later studied orchestration with longtime Danny Elfman, collaborator Stephen Scott Smalley, and composition with legendary TV scorer Robert Drazen. When Sean wasn't on tour with Cynic, he was working on his compositions, which can be heard on TV networks across the globe. There's a video on here we decided to publish. There's a video below, has never been released. We decided to publish in this morning in his honor, to share this something new to all of you. Taken from Sick Drummer Camp held in 2011 in Gyersville, California. Please, folks, check it out. Unbelievable. That was beautiful. And many friends I chat with a good friend of mine I knew for over almost 32 years, Kevin Warhalf. He had the Kevin Warhalf show in the Middle Station. First time I met him was at the Dade County Youth Fair, and I was a traveling merchant, Manning John's Rock Shop Caravan. And he told me he was trying to get a band together. Then I heard him on WVUM, Kevin's Corner. We became good friends. We still are today. I had a little chat with the man. And he was very saddened on what happened to a good friend of his. We have folks realize, like I said, we got a lot of history in us. I'm not saying it out of arrogance, but out of good faith. And I told him, call me anytime, my friend. And I love him dearly as well. And I'm going to hit this next one here. Let me see. Oh, blabbermouth. You know what? Let me see something here. Yeah, sit here. I'll do one on blabbermouth as well. Former Death and Cynic drummer Sean Reinart dead at 48. Longtime drummer, progressive technical metal pioneer Cynic has died. He was apparently found unresponsive at his California home Friday night, January 24th. No cause of death has yet been revealed. He was only 48 years old. Reinert was founding member of Cynic, along with guitarist vocalist Paul Macedo, and he remained in the group until January 2015. In 1991, Reinart and Macedo joined the legendary Florida band Death to record the Human album. After touring with Death, they returned to Cynic. Great album, folks. And Chuck Schuldiner, may so be forever free. Sad thing about that, because it looks like they had a little fallout. But the music remains champion on that album. So that's how I see things, and I'll continue on. 1993 saw the release of Cynic's debut album, Focus, which was regarded as a landmark LP in the field of technical progressive metal. After Cynic's initial split, Reinert and Macedo relocated to Los Angeles, where they continued working with music by writing and performing for the television shows and motion pictures. In 1999, Reinert helped Macedo from Eon Spoke, which was described as an ethereal rock band. In 2007, Cynic reformed for a tour and recorded a new album, Traced in Air, which was released in 2008. And by following the tour, after Traced in Air, Cynic issued two conceptual EPs, Retraced in 2010 and Carbon-Based Autonomy in 2011. Sean's final recorded appearance with Cynic was Kindly Bent to Free Us, which came out in February 2014 via Season of the Mist. Reinart played his last show with Cynic in September 2015 in Japan. He later said that the performances were not up to par and blamed the band's lack of preparation on the accumulation of differences in music direction and business practices. After his exit from Cynic, Sean was involved with the Los Angeles progressive rock group Perfect Beings, whose album later, Veer, was released in January 2018 via Inside Out Music. And he did a lot of things here with homage on Kelly Schaefer, and a lot of these people just did pay their homage. Even Travis Ryan and John Langreth. So I'm not going to read all this here. I will leave this on my Facebook. I will leave this on my Spreaker page. And Shannon Ham said he was an amazing brother. And Agora, rest in peace, brother. Caldy Cap. A lot of people, like I say, a lot of folks paid homage to this man. Fucking hell, a tremendous talented guy. It's by Ron Jeremiah. Wow. One of the best drummers out of the generation, R.I.P. Francisco Martin. Looks like someone had a little dispute here, so I could really care less. It's petty shit as far as I'm concerned. Gavin Bruce says, it's a shocking news. Sean was an extraordinary drummer and played on some of the all-time great albums. Rest in peace and thank you. So I'm going to do one more here. By Heavy.com. I noticed there's some discrepancies in this article, but we'll correct them the best I can. Sean Reinart dies. 5 facts you need to know. This is by Paul Farrell. Sean Reinart, the drummer and co-founder of the band's Ian Spoke and Cynic, has died at the age of 48. Blabbermouth reports that Reinart was unresponsive in his home in California on the night of January 24th. Reinart was a native Long Beach, California. I believe he's from South Florida, so he's from Miami. Coral Gables area, if I'm correct. Reinart said in 2006 interview that he realized he wanted to be a drummer at the age of 10, Reinert said, I started playing drums when I was 10 years old, and I've been taking piano lessons for 3 years before then, and wanted to switch to drums. I started taking drum lessons right away. It was part of the deal. I made with my mom. If I was going to switch to instruments, I had to take lessons. It was just fine with me. Reinert said in the same interview that the first album he ever bought was Kisses Heaven and Hell. During the same interview, Reinert said, music is my spirit. Here's what you need to know. Reinert's cause of death was given as heart failure. Reinert is survived by his husband Tom. In addition to celebrate work with Cynic, Reinert also played drums with James LeBert, Gordian Knot, and Portal. Reinert's cause of death was given as heart failure by his longtime friend Kelly Schaefer. In 2018, Reinert discussed his health regime in an interview with Modern Drummer. Reinert said, nutrition is a big thing. I've always bring Emergence G, and even if I'm not sick, I'm doubling down on my multivitamins. Something I don't put in my bag, but is very important, is sleep. Getting rest on the road and not partying. You're a drummer. You're an athlete. You can't be polluting your body and staying up all night and then expect to crank out a perfect set of 2 hours of sleep. And also, a smoke-free environment. I get sick very easily, and I don't do anything that will jeopardize my moving parts. No more skateboarding, no more trying to dunk the basketball. I can go swimming or hit the stationary bike. 2. Reinert came out as gay in 2014. In 2014, he came out as gay alongside with fellow Cynic member Paul Masadio. Reinert told the Los Angeles Times in 2014, gay people are everywhere, doing every job, playing every kind of music. We always have been. It's been taking me years to finally be brave enough to say, if you have a problem with that, then throw out our records. That's your problem, not mine. I'll be very frank. A lot of us down here in South Florida, we question that as well. But you know what? We never gave a damn. Because one thing I tell people, we looked at even Paul and Sean and everyone else in the gay community as individuals. Okay? And when I was a young man, in my early, before my teens, I used to bust on these people's chops, and I admit that. But in due time, you start appreciating the life and looking at people as individuals and be wiser. And I live in a neighborhood in Victoria Park District of Fort Lauderdale, and our little complex, most of the people were gay, a few of us were straight, but we got along great. Even the police came by, an incident broke out. Someone got robbed, and one of our neighbors' friends, and the police asked us, say, you know what, I gotta say one thing about this area, about your complex. We never get a complaint. Our surroundings, yes, but never us. Why? Because we look out for one another and respected each other's space. And we talk to each other with love and kindness. I'll continue on here. Among those who congratulated Reinert and Masadio on their bravery was heavy metal and the LGBT icon Rob Halford. Among those who were not as supportive was the Masadio guitar provider Vic Kaluski of Vic Guitars. Well, to each his own. You don't have to agree with the person's practice, but you don't have to crucify the person as well. Reinert and Masadio formed Cynic in 1990 and broke up twice. I have to say, correction, late 87 or early 1988, they started Cynic. I know that for a fact. And Masadio can attest to that. Mark Van Der, Jack Kelly, Jason Goebel, I can go on, okay? And Tony Choi, all right? Yeah, like I said, we all grew up together, all right? So in the music scene. So I can tell you that for a fact. And that's what it says here. Reinert and Masadio had worked the album Human with Florida metal legend's death in 1991, but would later return to their work with Cynic. Cynic's debut Focus was released in 1993. Cynic broke up for the first time in 1994 after Reinert and Masadio relocated to Los Angeles. The pair formed Eon Spoke, a more alternative rock band, rather than a metal band, which is true. The pair reformed Cynic in 2007 for a reunion tour. The band released a new album, Trace in the Air, following the release of a string of EPs and another album, kindly bent to Free Us. Reinert parted ways with the group following a tour of Japan. As of 2018, Reinert was recording with the progressive Los Angeles bass band Perfect Beings. Reinart settled a long-standing dispute with Mercedes in 2017. Reinart would leave Cynic in 2015 and settle a alongside dispute with the band in 2017. He wrote in Facebook post at the time, "Today I pose with a heavy heart, but also a lightened spirit. A settlement has been reached between Paul and I in regard to Cynic. I'm unable to disclose any of the details regarding this agreement, but I'm at peace with the agreement. I'm going to step aside from Cynic and continue my personal projects. Paul is going to continue with Cynic and his. I want to take this last Facebook post as an opportunity to humbly thank all the musicians, engineers, technicians, companies, booking agents, managers, crew, press, labels, and friends that I've worked with, and I will likely to continue to over the past 30-year span. Most of all, I would like to thank all the fans who to this day still blow me away with their loyalty and love. You've always been an inspiration and a fuel for the machine. To Paul, I sincerely wish him and the musicians here hires nothing but the best. Love, Sean." One commentator wrote under the post, "Never form a band with your boyfriend." That's contemptuous indeed. And that person like that, if you know that person is, give them an attitude adjustment. I will approve that. I will approve it. Sean Reinart is being mourned by some of metal's biggest names. As the news of Reinart's death spread, some of metal's biggest names, as well as his fans, have turned to social media to express their grief. Here are some of the most poignant messages of remembrance. And there's many of them down here. I'm not going to really get too much into it, but very similar to the last page. One thing I could tell you folks for sure, like I said before, he left a lot of great music behind. He made his contribution with great, fantastic musicians. Chuck Schuldiner, Paul Macedo, Steve Ojorio, Tony Choi, etc. He will be inspired. He will influence other drummers today, tomorrow, and beyond. Like I said, I haven't talked to him in years, but I always remember him to be a good man. Thank you, Sean, for who you are, doing and standing for what's right on your personal principles, and putting out fantastic music. And your talent shall never be terminated. May your soul be forever free, my friend. And that is it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, and you send something interesting I want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to Decorum. In addition, I shall leave all the footnotes on my Facebook, on my Spreaker page, on the Late Great Sean Reinart. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.